Hello.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Good, good. We were talking with two of your seniors about graduation. What was it like to watch your senior class, players that you've coached for quite a while, graduate and commission on Saturday?
It's always a special day. I enjoy it. You know, my wife enjoys it. The family enjoys it. Everybody here does. To watch them grow for 4 years and become the men they become, it's probably the best part of the job. And they did a great job. They were my first recruiting class here, so that was special, you know, to watch them come along, not just, in baseball, but as men, as leaders. So they're great guys. It's the best part of the job.
And we're just talking with Ray Bartoli. I mean, what a third game he pitched against Lafayette, going 8 1/3 innings for you.
Yeah, he did great. He filled it up. He went out there and attacked and got ahead of guys. And, it was what we're preaching. You need action. You need guys to swing the bats. The ones that kill you are the walks, the errors, the hit by pitches. Trying to be too careful, those freebies score. So if we can make the other team, no matter who we're playing, earn it as much as we can. That's what we try and do, and put some pressure on the other team. Make it as hard as we can on the other team. So Ray did a nice job. He really did. He went out there and attacked, got ahead of guys, and put them away.
Good, Ken.
Coach, can you talk about your likely starting rotation this week and your thinking that went into it?
Yeah, we're going to stay the same. We have LoRicco going game 1, and then we'll see, win or lose, who goes game 2. The weather. I heard there's some weather coming in, so could be a doubleheader now on Thursday. There's all sorts of scenarios, but I've learned to not really play too many games and think, Black is a good pitcher of the year, probably gonna be a pretty high draft pick. And, Anthony's been our Friday guy every year. I say Friday guy, but, Saturday guy for game 1. And, he's going to be our guy this week. And he's just very competitive, throws strikes, works fast, changes speeds. That's what you're looking for out of a winning pitcher. So comfortable with Anthony going against anybody, and he'll go do his thing, and we'll do our thing.
You split 4 games with Lehigh, each winning at the other campus. What did you learn from Lehigh, and what do you expect?
Lehigh's got a pretty good lineup. They have a couple guys in the middle that have driven in some runs. Rother and Gorla, a few of those guys, do a decent job in the middle. We got some balance. It's going to come down to pitching, though. We did a really good job day 1 against Lehigh, against Black and Svensson, just making them throw pitches. They had to work. Guys fouled, they fouled balls off, kind of like a Hurtabees at bat, where he'd really make them work. And Messias did that for us. And Ruda had some good at bats, Jacquin. So we gotta do that again. We're gonna make it tough on them. Black ended up throwing a lot of breaking balls, starting inning 3 the last time. And if you can take something away from the other team, whether it be a breaking ball or a fastball or a changeup, something that they do well, that's kind of what you're looking to do. And then we'll look to run and bunt and do a good job situational hitting, and it'll come down to probably a couple 2-out knocks, 2-strike, 2-out knocks. So excited about playing in the finals again, and guys are eager to get going, especially now that graduation's done and school's over. They can really, really enjoy it.
Coach, tell us a little bit about you got good pitching in that relief pitching in the Lafayette series from Tyler Pritchard and Connolly early. How big a factor is that going into another short series?
It's huge. I would rather have a strong bullpen and, you know, 3 competitive starters and some really good starters and a weak bullpen. You know, I think your bullpen is like the backbone of your team. If you don't have a strong bullpen, it's really difficult. So I was happy with the way the guys came on this year. You know, their depth. We've built some depth in the bullpen, righty, lefty, different arm slots. I really like versatility. You know, I like guys who can throw from different angles and show you some different looks. So our guys, they really worked hard and did a good job. I think they can, you know, obviously we have an award called the First Responder Award. And I think our goal is 75% right in there, getting the first guy out. And we're close, you know. You got to come in and throw strike one, and you got to get the first guy out. And, that's what they've done. So it's the one thing this team's done the whole year is pick each other up. It hasn't always been pretty, but it's been a really weird, odd year, you know, especially at the beginning. But once we got to play more and spend time together and come together, you know, it's been fun to see them compete and pick each other up. They don't quit. They're you know, tough-minded group. And like I said, I mean, there was days where I took the whole starting lineup out of the game, and we were getting beat by Holy Cross a couple weeks ago, and you know, I took them all out, and the bench went in. We were down a whole bunch of runs, and the bench went out there and won the game. So,
Wow.
like, I don't care, you know, you bring it, and you know, you go out there, and if not, the guy behind you will pick you up. So it's a team. It's a true team. That's what I like about these guys. They really don't care who gets the credit. You know, Jacquin's been struggling this year. Guys have picked him up. Walden struggled this year. Guys have picked him up. Adams had his time struggle. These are older guys, you know, and guys have picked him up. So if we can get, you know, 3 or 4 guys hot and pitch and play defense, we'll be happy with that.
We had Anthony Jacquin on earlier. Can you just tell us, you know, what do you think of him as a ball player and his impact over not only this year, but his 4 years?
Oh, he's tremendous. He was my first recruit here. We almost didn't get him in because of peach allergy. So imagine that, you know, he's going to be tremendous as a leader. I mean, you can't say anything more about him. You know, he's won all the awards here, and, you know, he's been an All-American. He drove in almost 80 runs 2 years ago. You know, this year he's trying too hard. And we've all been down that road, you know, where in baseball's a sport where if you try too hard and you start swinging too big, you know, it's tough to go backwards from there. So he's a high achiever, you know, and that they're all high achievers here. And that's one of the toughest things as a coach, to get them to back off and relax and have fun and just try and take it one at a time. So Anthony's tremendous. He's probably the best, you know, all around student athlete I've ever coached, as far as, you know, school and leadership qualities. And, you know, he leads by example, and he's really beating himself up because he wants to do more. But I told him it's his second life. It's his second season. So let's see what you can do.
Coach, you talk about your catcher, Cam Ceruto, had the big 3-run homer against Lafayette last week, and Ray Bartoli talked about how much confidence he had in his ability to call the pitches. Yeah,
it's something we talk about a lot. We work on, and Cam's earned that right to be able to go out there and, you know, put the fingers down, and he did a great job. He really did. Cam's got a huge heart, and that home run he hit, I probably haven't been that excited in a while. You know, it was just really cool because I know how hard he works, and it was nice to see. So he gives himself up for the pitching staff, and that's what a good catcher does. So I was real happy for him when he hit that home run.
Jim, Ray Bartoli mentioned that the expectation every year is to get at least to this round. How do you feel like you're your program is going through your tenure here? It looks like you guys have maintained a very good tradition in Army baseball.
I don't know. What do you think? We've been in two regionals, we're back-to-back champions, and doesn't get much better than that. The expectation is to go to a regional and win a regional. I've done it once before. We won the Ole Miss regional when I was at another school, Boston College, and we were one game from Omaha. And I didn't come here to be average. It's Army West Point. It's the last thing I want to be is average. And the challenge here is for me every day when I wake up and get out of bed, I want to get Army West Point to Omaha. That's the dream, walking through those gates with Army on your chest. We have a long way to go. But that's the dream, and it's college baseball, and they're not pros, and anything can happen. We've been pretty bad this year at times, and we've been pretty good at times, but year one to make, we got my first year. I mean, you guys know, you've probably done the research and all. I don't need to say it, but we've done all right. We found a way with guys like John Rosoff and Jacob Hurtubise and Cam Opp and Sam Messina. Those guys have really, really, really turned it from one of the worst programs in the country. I think they were like 320th in 2016, and we were top 50 program the last couple of years. So proud of that. A lot of hard work went into it, and these guys have really gone out there and gotten it done when it mattered. And the last time we were at the Texas Tech Regional, we weren't competitive. We weren't. We played a tough Texas Tech team. We played University of Florida, two good teams, but we weren't good enough. We looked like we were out of gas. We were on fumes. And next time we get to a regional, I want to be competitive. We beat a 1 seed NC State, the regional, in 2018. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make Army West Point that good. And, it's a big challenge here. There's a lot of challenges, but we found a way to gotten it done. And, hopefully, this year we're playing for last year's seniors, because they put so much into the program and they didn't get to finish. So that's who we're playing for this year.
Do you feel like you can make a run here?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We found a way all year. It's going to be tough to beat, Black and Svensson. And I think on paper, their pitching is probably better than ours, but, I wouldn't doubt our guys. The tougher you can make it, the more challenging you can make it, the better they are. So I just hope they go out there and do their thing. Getting them to play free and fast and do what they're taught. You never know. We're going to see how it plays out, but. Black's the pitcher of the year. Svensson is a good pitcher. Then that kid Reddick on the lefty on Sunday. They got 3 good starters, and we're gonna have to match that and do more. It's gonna be a big challenge, but we'll see what the guys can do. I know they're excited to be here and looking forward to getting out there and practicing today and playing tomorrow.
You talked about, Coach, how a few years ago you felt like you were running on fumes heading into regionals and it didn't go your way. How have you gone about over the last week and a half balancing that to make sure they're rested, but at the same time, make sure they're prepared for the tough test you have coming up?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's a lot of challenges here at Army West Point, and one of them is, when graduation happens, that's it. Everybody leaves, and you still got to house these guys, and you still got to feed them, and some of them might have hours to walk, some of them might have other responsibilities, and so it comes down to rest, getting a good night's sleep, nutrition, hydrating. It's going to be 92 tomorrow, I think, probably 100 on the turf, and just preaching it and being ahead of it, being a week ahead of it instead of waiting for the day and going, oh, it's hot out, and have we been drinking enough water? Have we been eating bananas? Have we, we're just trying to get ahead of it and educate everybody here on thinking ahead, not reacting once it happens. So it's just being responsible, getting everything here they need and getting them set up the right way. Took us 16 hours to get out to Texas Tech the last time. That had a lot to do with it, the travel arrangements. But Danny Burgraff, one of our best starting pitchers, he had to walk. He had 100 hours. He had to walk, or 50 hours, something crazy where they walk back and forth, because of some disciplinary thing that happened here. Nothing crazy, just, that's how they do it. So you got your starting pitcher going out there after walking 50 hours, and he was running on fumes a little bit anyway. So the challenges here, guys, are, it's really Air Navy, Air Force. And you see Air Force, they had a great year this year. They beat 4 top 25 teams. Everybody, when they beat us earlier this year, so that's a good ball club. So hats off to all those guys. We really root for each other when we're not playing each other. And, I'm glad we're going on the road. There's less distractions and, I'd rather go on the road. We've been here for 3 or 4 weeks. Let's get on the road and see what we can do.
Coach, you talked about that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Coach, I was just going to ask you, how does it work for summer leagues for your players? I mean, many college players play in like the Cape Cod League or other leagues around the country, but do your players have that opportunity?
Yeah. Anthony, who you're talking to next, he's down the Cape. He's playing for Katuitt. And, Anthony Jacquin was signed up to play last summer. Jacob Hurtaby's got to play down the Cape the year before he got drafted. Sam Messina went down there and played. So we usually get a couple of guys down the Cape, and then the Northwoods League, the NECBL, the Futures League. There's leagues all around the country. Like if the guys have 3 weeks to play, and they need to go work on a pitch or get some at bats versus just getting in the weight room. It depends how many innings they pitched and what they need. We try and get them whatever they need. But sometimes they got to go train, and then they're not really in baseball shape. So why would we send them to summer ball for a couple of weeks when we could get them, a little more functional, get them in the weight room, get them a little more athletic. So we kind of lean towards that instead of sending definitely not a pitcher. We wouldn't do that with a pitcher. Like Anthony's going to report, he's got a couple weeks of training, and then he's going to go right to the Cape. So he'll be able to maintain, staying in shape. So it's a tricky one because kids are placed in August, September, October. These guys don't get their military schedules until later, so there's a lot of juggling. It's hard, but lucky enough to have a lot of contacts out there. So, and the NECBL, no one's really written about this, but they passed a great rule. Sean McGrath is the commissioner, and we work together on this. And for military guys, they don't count towards the roster. So they can come and go based on their training, which I think makes a lot of sense. I don't think kids should be, someone serving our country should be denied doing what they love because of roster limitations, because they can only be there 2 weeks or a month or 3 weeks. And then the last thing is we try and stack up their summer training, their freshman and sophomore year, so their junior year they can go have a full summer. So we do the best we can, but they do love to play and want to do it. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Coach, you kind of talked about being able to get away from West Point there for this championship series. You won your last 2 on the road. What does that mean for your program? Just to be able to kind of get off base, get away from those distractions. I guess, I think obviously you guys have a much better sense of it, living it than we would, just kind of hearing about it and imagining how that might be. Oh,
you're right on, Ryan. It's there's distractions here. There's the field's right in the middle of campus, that there's other responsibilities here, there's just more going on, and there's more distractions. So when you get a room at a hotel, and it's a nice, comfortable bed, and they eat well, and they get to relax a little, they don't have to worry about as many things as they do here. So it's a balance. It's good to, any coach here would tell you that it's good to be here and play here. Like, this field is one of the best settings in the whole country, but there's a lot of responsibility playing here, and, whether you have enough staff or not, you got to figure it out as a coach. And every day here is, all right, guys, what's going on, on your end? This is what's going on our end. And you juggle and you try and figure out the schedule day to day, and things change, and you got to roll with them. Because if you get crazy about it, it gets frustrating. And the same thing for them. That's what amazes me about these guys. They adjust and they roll with it and they figure it out. And they really are mentally tough kids, but it does help when we go off campus, just because they get a nice place to stay and there's not as many distractions. So we like going on the road. I mean, 2 years ago we went to Navy and we sat around for 3 days. It was supposed to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think we played Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we didn't mind it at all. Where are we going? They're going to go to the woods after this. They're going to go train. They're going to go, they're playing baseball. They're doing what they love. And we want to do it as long as we can. And when they're done, they're unbelievable. They put the baseball stuff away and they go to their training and they do their duty. And, it's pretty wild, but it's very impressive.
And Coach, I wanted to talk a little bit about this season, and I don't know if this is a mental toughness thing as well. You talked about some of the highs and lows. You get out to a 3-11 start. You lose the first 3 games against Bucknell, and then the second game of that doubleheader on Sunday, you put up 14 runs, and that kind of propels you into winning 11 of the next 12. What was it about that weekend, maybe that game, that kind of, put you guys back in the right spot?
I think they were. This is where they come and have fun here. So when it doesn't go well, they put more pressure on themselves. And you haven't played baseball in so long. The biggest thing, they're not able to spend time together and come together. They might be in their company, but they couldn't just hang out in the team room because of all the COVID rules. And you couldn't do the same things that you normally do to get to know each other and come together. So I knew it was going to take some time, but there were a few weeks there. We got like 2 hours of practicing, because where we are, other teams were using it, and then you had testing, you had contact tracing, and it was just wild. So I said, guys, just keep pressing. A lot of times when it's at its worst, it's at its best right around the corner. So just relax and keep playing, but don't press. And they were just trying too hard. And we got to that game against Bucknell, and we got back to doing what we do, putting pressure on the defense, getting timely hits, being aggressive, laughing, high-fiving, having fun. So they did a great job in that last game, just hanging in there. And that's big, 3-1 versus 0-4 is a huge swing. We call it Championship Sunday. You got to be great on Championship Sunday, and that's what it is this week.
And I know one of the things you've talked about in terms of building a program and building a roster has been what you're able to do up the middle of the field. And you've mentioned guys like Rossoff and certainly Hurtubise in center field. But now we're 2 years removed from the last time there was a Patriot League championship. And again, you have Ceruto behind the plate, Simos and DeBrule, and then Hunter Mead, who's really come on in center. What has it been about? I mean, how pleasing is that to see those guys produce, particularly in those positions?
Oh, it's the key to the whole thing. Getting a catcher behind the plate who can really do it and handle the pitching staff is number one. Kevin DeBrule is, really solid at shortstop. Timmy Simos, nobody talks about him enough. To me, he's one of the best second basemen in the country. He's tremendous defensively. And he comes up with some big knocks, you know, and he battles you at the plate. But defensively, I think, you know, he should be in the running for a Gold Glove this year. He is tremendous, guys. You know, I don't, you know, if you know me, I don't hand out compliments just, you know, like they're nothing. Like he really is an excellent second baseman. He does everything out there. And, you know, I've seen a lot of baseball, pro ball and college ball and different levels. He's right up there in college baseball. So I want to give Timmy some props because he's a quiet kid and he just plays his butt off every day. Hunter Meade in center field has been a huge thing for us this year and becoming our leadoff hitter. You know, he's got a slow pulse. He can really run. So he adds to what we're trying to be, you know, our identity as a team. And he's, you know, he got cut as a freshman. So he came back his sophomore year, stronger, faster. And when he got his chance this year, he really took advantage of it. And having him and Kevin at the top of the lineup and Carter and Timmy, you know, they bounce around a little bit, but they're towards the bottom. And then the defense, they play up the middle. It's just, that's everything. So they, that was a key, just getting Hunter in there and having those other guys develop and Timmy doing Timmy. You know, he can pick it out there, guys. He's a lot of fun to watch every day.
Yeah. And I did have just kind of two more, and we talked with some folks at Lehigh earlier this morning, and they talked, obviously you guys have, you know, had an elite offense in the Patriot League the last few years, but just your team's offensive identity. And one of the things that they mentioned that you touched on earlier is just making for longer at bats, making pitchers work, making them throw pitches. And then also something you might not have mentioned was just, and I don't know how you would think of this, but being aggressive on the base paths, not being afraid to take a base if you can. Can you just talk about that philosophy?
Yeah, it's everything to me is just putting pressure on the defense. And if you could put a ball in play with 2 strikes and make them make a play, if you can put a bunt down, if they know you're running hard every single time and they peek a little and you can take an extra base, that's baseball. You know, you look at the major leagues now and it's a lot of swing and misses, and we're trying to be the opposite of that. We're trying to, you know, there's no one philosophy of ways to do it here, hitting offensively, swinging the bat. Coach Parker does a nice job. But for me, it's about the mental part of it, you know, being something we practice every week. You know, we shorten guys up to 55 feet and, you know, make them as tough as they can on the hitters. And, you know, it's just, it's competition. And we practice it a lot. And they do a good job battling. They saw, like Jacob Hurtubise, he'd see 40 pitches himself in a game. And he'd almost take a pitcher out, you know, just one hitter, you know, 4 at bats. He'd be seeing 6, 8, 10, 12 pitches. That's what we want to be. We want to grind out of, because we're not just going to sit up there and rake, you know, we need to be able to hit the ball over the field, take what they give us. And we want to come up with some big 2-out, 2-strike hits, but we want to jab, and then knock someone out late. You know, that's the way I describe it. It's, let's cut them up a little bit. Let's do the little things right. Let's, you know, make sure we're playing the game the right way. I think if you do that, everything takes care of itself. You know, you're not going to hit every day, but you can generate some runs. You know, how many big innings start with a bunt that gets thrown away, or, you know, an error, or, you know, somebody misses a cutoff man and moves up backside. You know, that's fun. That's baseball. It's not, let's try and hit a home run and see how many 5 balls we can hit. You know, that's, you know, I get it, you know, but I don't think that's the style that, you know, we should be playing. If you can hit home runs, go ahead and hit home runs. I'll let you hit every time. But, you know, sometimes teams will make it a little easy on the other team because they swing the same way over and over. So you can learn how to attack them. And if you got guys who can put it there, then you got a good chance. And teams win. It's not the best team wins. The best team with the best locker room wins at the end of the day. And that's what we always preach here. And you can't be one-dimensional. You got to be able to, run, play defense, have a two-strike approach, do different things, be a ball player. So that's what we're looking for out of our guys. They do a great job. They really, put their best effort out there every day, and I'm proud of them for that. And they've battled this year. They really have. They've been down and fought back. So we're excited to be here. Very, very fortunate to be here. And just excited to play and keep going and see how long we can stick together.
And understanding that certainly
last question so we can get Anthony in here.
Yeah, understanding just team being what it is, I did want to just ask one more question to talk a little bit more about Anthony Jacquin. In his first two, or I guess his only two Patriot League Championship Series, he was the tournament MVP as a freshman. And then you could probably make an argument that he had an even better series in his sophomore season. What has it been about him where he's been able to really produce in that championship series when it's meant so much?
He's just a competitive, mid to upper 80s righty who, doesn't beat himself. He holds runners, he fields his position, he competes like crazy out there. He works fast, he changes speeds. Everything that you want out of a pitcher is Anthony. He wishes he was 6'4" and he threw 95, but he doesn't. He's 86, 87, 88, 89 on a good day, but he can really pitch, and he does a great job battling. Sometimes he gets a little too fired up, a little too emotional, but we've worked on that. And once he got past that, he's been good. So guys love playing behind him because he gets action, he gets ground balls, and they're in the game, they're on their toes, and he wants the ball, and he's someone the whole staff looks up to.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ryan. Thanks. All set?
Yep.
Thank you,
Okay.
Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
See you tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. That was long. We'll hold this so you guys can leave.
Don't worry about the bumps.
Okay. Yes. Right there.
Guys hear me?
I should be able to hear you. You guys ready?
Yep.
You got Anthony LoRicco here, tomorrow's starting pitcher.
Anthony, hi. Good to see you. Tell us a little bit about your season. You had a 12 strikeout performance against Navy, and then you had the big game against Lafayette. Tell us a little bit about your season and the playoffs so far for you.
Yeah, so our season started off kind of rough. Went down North Carolina a couple times. I didn't think we were really ready as a team. I personally wasn't as polished as I wish I was, and we ended up getting off to a tough start. But as soon as we started getting a Patriot League play, our team really started to pick it up. Guys were picking up each other a lot. That's kind of been the whole thing going on this season. Like when one guy goes down, we got 2-3 guys ready to pick him up, and we're just battling it out. And then talking about those 2 games against Navy, that was the first time I was throwing in front of a big crowd all year. I was all fired up, ready to go. Obviously, big rivalry game. It's my first time ever throwing against Navy. I didn't get to throw against them last year, and then my plebe year, I didn't throw against them either. So I was obviously all excited to go for that too. And then once we got in the playoffs against Lafayette, this program kind of has just it's got like a wave of excellence around it. Even before I started here, they were already the Patriot League champions. And so I just wanted to keep that going, and I was just trying to keep my team in the game. And obviously we had a bunch of big knocks, a bunch of guys picking each other up, like I said.
Maybe just tell us a little bit about your repertoire pitches. Obviously, you had the 12 strikeouts. Maybe take us through the basics of your pitching options.
Yeah, so I throw just 2-seam fastball, I throw a changeup, and then I throw a slider too. So that day against Navy with 12 strikeouts, fastball was working really well. I was locating really well with that. And then those two pitches just kind of played off it and allowed me to really get deeper into counts with them, and then just kind of burn them with the fastball at the end. But against a team like Lafayette, they're a lot more aggressive. And I had to throw a lot more off-speed pitches to them. And they ended up just kind of over time, just kind of beat themselves pretty much.
Okay, thank you. Ken?
Anthony, what's it like being put into a pressure situation? Are you a guy who thrives on this?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's just the culmination of the season too. Like I've been out there all year, you know. I've thrown every weekend, so it's just I'm anxious really to get out there and just kind of get after it.
Yeah, Anthony, just take me through what this pitching staff is like and kind of the relationship and the rapport you guys have as a group.
Yeah, so we got a real good core group of leaders on our team. Obviously, we're led by Ray Bartoli, Harry Flannery, two guys that I've been around for 3 years now, kind of personal mentors for me, have shown me the ropes, have shown me how to be a real competitor, especially at the Division I level. And then we got other guys in our class, like my grade especially. We got Teddy Lepsio, Ben De La Belle, have been right alongside there. They've really stepped up. They've shown like our team exactly what leaders are supposed to be. And then the freshmen and sophomore just kind of fall in after that. Obviously, we have Pat Malampy and Rob Bucher. They've done well this year. Before Pat was injured, he was pitching really well. They kind of just rose to the occasion. They just follow. It's basically like follow the leader, you know. And that all starts with Ray and Harry.
Anthony, can you talk about not settling for the poor start this season and being able to turn it around?
Yeah, again, I think that's just a testament to the way our team is designed, honestly. They saw the pitching staff was struggling at the beginning of the year, and then the hitters, obviously, they weren't doing exactly what they wanted to do either. And it was a gut check, honestly. It was something that we as a team hadn't really experienced before. We'd always come out hot, especially like my plebe year. We brought LSU to the 9th inning. We beat Air Force pretty bad just to start off the year, and we just kind of kept going from there. But with this, it was a slow start that just kind of tumbled and snowballed. And so it was a gut check, especially when we get back to Patriot League play. We're like, wow, we got to go right now. Like it's make or break time right now, because we obviously didn't want to put ourselves in too deep of a hole. And then it's just over time, the guys just started picking up each other more, like I said. And it's all on the leaders, honestly. Our team captains have done a fantastic job this year. They've led us really well. And then Coach Foster, on top of that, motivating us every day. We're out here grinding every day to get better. And so it was, like I said before, we didn't start exactly where we wanted to be, and I especially wasn't there. But our guys, they worked really hard over the course of the season so far to get better.
Anthony, Army's had a lot of success in baseball for quite a few years here. Talk about living up to the tradition, living up to the expectations.
Yeah, I got to see that firsthand my plebe year. We had guys like Dan Berggraf, we had Sam Messina, Tyler Giovinco. I remember Tyler Giovinco pitched every weekend. He was good for 6-7 innings every single time. And I remember sitting there as a freshman thinking, wow, I'm going to have to do that one day. But it's them showing me the ropes has made it a lot easier. I can't forget about Cam Opp. He's one of the most fantastic pitchers I've been around, one of the best guys I've been around too. So they just kind of embodied what true leadership is and what a really good Army baseball player should be. They're some of the most motivated people. And then living up to that standard, it's just been, like I said, we got Harry Flannery, Ray Bartoli, all those guys. They live up to that standard every day. And I'm just trying to follow right behind them.
I think you guys have a lot of confidence in your abilities, but I think you have a lot of respect for Lehigh as well.
Yeah, we do. They got some really good arms. Mason Black, Svensson, I'm not really sure how to pronounce his last name, but they do have some really good arms, and it should be a really good challenge for us, and I'm excited to get after it this weekend.
Anthony, I wanted to talk about that, just being a competitor, going into a game one of a championship series, starting against Mason Black, the Patriot League Pitcher of the Year, and a guy who's getting a ton of hype on MLB draft boards. Does that give you something a little bit extra going into that game, a little extra excitement?
Oh yeah, it definitely gives me excitement. I love those. That's one of my favorite spots to be in. I think there's really no pressure, honestly. Everybody's gonna be looking at him, so why as well not just go out there and shock the world myself, you know?
Yeah. And I was curious just to kind of talk about some of those pressure situations. I want to go back to your first year. You make a postseason appearance against a really good Texas Tech team and throw an inning and 2/3 scoreless ball. Can you just take me through that? I guess, what kind of confidence did that give you to be able to go out against a program like that and throw well?
Yeah, that was fun. Obviously, I went in the game. We weren't winning at the time, but it was good. It was one of the best teams I've ever had to throw against, and so it was in front of a massive crowd, the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of, and so it was just it was a big confidence boost, honestly. And then especially to roll right into the summer after that, I played for the Ocean State Waves in Rhode Island, and just kind of take that confidence and then keep rolling into my sophomore year too, where I was actually gonna have to be in big start situations for the first time. It helped me a lot, honestly, especially my development as a pitcher, and then obviously being able to handle that the pressure that situation put me in.
And then I guess just from staying kind of on a confidence theme, we had talked a little bit to your teammate Ray Bartoli and talked to Coach Foster about this. But just can you talk a little bit about the confidence you gain from having the defense that you have behind you? Guys like Timmy Simos and Kevin DeBrule, throwing to Cam Ceruto, some of the veterans you have in the outfield, and obviously Anthony Jacquin at third base.
Yeah, we've been talking about ever since the preseason how good our infield's going to be, how Cam has really solidified himself as a pretty good Division I catcher and someone that I can really rely on personally. It's definitely a big confidence boost, you know, especially having the Defensive Player of the Year out there. There's nothing better than that. These guys are my best friends. It's just awesome to be out there, and I know that they got my back, and I'm gonna do everything I can to throw as well as I can.
And just one other thing that Coach Foster kind of talked about, and I know this has been something that's been a theme not just for Army, but even for Navy when they've been on the road. What kind of feeling is it just kind of getting away from West Point to play a championship series, being in a hotel, being on the road, comfortable beds, a lot of food, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I love it. I love going on the road. That's one of my favorite times of the year, especially during the preseason. But now is even better because it's obviously a lot warmer and it's awesome to be out there. It's a little different now that all the other cadets are gone. It's a lot less stressful than it usually is. But getting on the road is one of the best parts of the year. I know that everybody on the team loves it, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anthony, just like to ask you, how do you handle all of the challenges of West Point, and what's your academic major?
So my academic major, I'm a law and legal studies major. I'm going into my Cal year, so I got 4 or 5 more law classes left before I graduate, and I've enjoyed that program a lot so far. It's something that I'm not sure if I'm going to really seek law school in the future. We'll see. That's up for debate still, but we'll see how it goes. And then from just thinking about like the academic and military commitments we have here, it's a lot, honestly. We're in class every day till 3 o'clock. We roll right out to the field after that, and it's just kind of one thing after another. And I've been here for 3 years. I'm used to it. And it's more of one of the biggest not problems, I would say, but one of the biggest things that we have to do is help out the freshmen kind of get into that rhythm too. So that was kind of one of the things that I was trying to do this year, and it was a pretty big challenge to try to help them. Then thinking about the military side, I love it, honestly. It's a lot of fun. It can suck at times, but everything does. And but it's great to just get out there with the cadets for the summer and get after it.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, guys. I think Anthony needs to get to the bus.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anthony. Good luck.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Rachel.
waiting. Good job.
Of course.
All right, guys. That's all we've got. I'll share this. I'll send it in a Dropbox link. Anybody need anything else?
All
Sounds
good.
great.
Thank you very much, Rachel.
Okay. Yep. No problem.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
All right, I'll see you.
See ya. Good luck tomorrow.